Hello, students. So, a very happy Raksha Bandhan to you all. I hope you are with your family, with your sisters, with your brothers, and you are celebrating this very nice festival. And so, it's a festive day, a festive mood. I hope all the festivities, all the good lunch and everything is over. So now let's come back to study what we were doing, and we are continuing with our chapter of digestion and absorption. And I have told you many of the structures, and now we will be continuing with the structure. So we will be starting with esophagus. We stopped at pharynx and Valde's ring in our previous lecture, and now we'll be starting with esophagus. So esophagus is what? Esophagus is popularly known as what? It is also called food pipe. We all know this. And the esophagus is what? It is a muscular tube, and it is lined with stratified squamous epithelium. And when we were doing trachea, I told you all that trachea has C-shaped rings, and at the back, it has what? It has trachealis muscle. If this is the trachea, when we were doing respiration, this is the trachealis muscle. I already told you ring, and these are the C-shaped rings. And why was this C-shaped and not a whole ring-like structure? So as to allow what? This C-shaped rings were allowing what? They were allowing the peristaltic movement of esophagus, because esophagus lies behind the trachea. Okay, so it lies posterior to trachea, and now you know why the C-shaped ring is there. We just revised it. And remember, when we were doing pharynx, I drew this structure and drew this was the nasopharynx, where the nasal cavity was ending, and this was the oropharynx, where buccal cavity was ending, and then here I drew the laryngopharynx, right? Remember? So where does it begin? I tell you always the exact coordinate and the lining of the structure that we are doing. So it begins where? It begins at the end of laryngopharynx, right? Very clear. Then it extends from the sternum to the vertebral column, and it connects where it connects, or it ends where it connects or ends to the superior portion, or the where the starting of the stomach. Okay, so basically it is connecting the mouth to the stomach. Okay, this connecting the buccal cavity to the stomach. If this is the esophagus, and then it connects with the stomach, and then the small intestine begins. Okay, so this is esophagus. And the important thing to remember in this is that 1/3, the initial 1/3 of esophagus is made up of skeletal muscle, that is, it is voluntary, and after it, it is both smooth muscle and skeletal muscle. Smooth muscle plus skeletal muscle, and then the 1/3 that is left is just made up of smooth muscle. Okay, so first 1/3 is what? It is skeletal muscle. The second 1/3 is smooth plus skeletal, and the last 1/3 is only smooth muscle. So if this is the esophagus, we divide it into 3 parts. This part will be made up of skeletal muscle, this will be made up of smooth and skeletal, and this will be made of only smooth muscles. Okay, so very easy, very simple structure to understand, but very important. So now let us go to the stomach. You might be feeling that I'm going a little fast from my general pace. Yes, I told you in my previous lecture that this It is a very big chapter, and there are many important things to understand when we will be doing the proper digestion of protein, carbohydrates, fats, and then the absorption. So we need to go a little faster when we are doing the structures. So now we'll do the stomach. What is a stomach? We said that alimentary canal begins from mouth and ends till anus. Okay, so stomach is a part of alimentary canal, right? Stomach is a part of alimentary canal, and right. And the second thing which we can say about it is what is the shape. What is the shape of alimentary canal of stomach? It is J shaped. This much you might be knowing. Okay, so now I'll draw the stomach so that you might be able to get a better idea of this structure. So this is the esophagus that is ending, right? And this is the stomach. Okay, and this is the this is the stomach. Okay, so it is what? It is J shaped, first point, and this is known as the greater curvature. This is the greater curvature, and this side is known as the lesser curvature. Okay, nothing much. Okay, and this is esophagus. So stomach is connecting esophagus to the duodenum. It is connecting esophagus to the duodenum. And what is duodenum? Duodenum is the first part of intestine, which we'll be doing just after stomach. So now I will divide this stomach into 4 parts. So this part. So what are these parts that I am drawing? So this is one part. Second part. This is the third part. And then the fourth part. Okay, so what are these four parts? Let us name them. Cardiac, fundus, body, and pylorus or pyloric. Okay, so these are the 4 parts of the stomach. And what else? Abhi, we are just doing the outside thing so that you can just have an idea of what is the stomach all about. Okay, so this is the basic. When we'll do histology, then we'll do the various muscle layers on it. When we'll do the histology of alimentary canal. Just since you are doing stomach, I'll tell you a very basic thing, that it has 3 muscular layers. One is the longitudinal. Second is the circular. And third is the oblique. So when we'll do histology, we'll do all these things in detail. Okay, so longitudinal layer, circular layer, and oblique layer. It helps in the churning of the food. And you remember what is the food called when it is in the stomach? It is still called bolus. When it comes to the intestine, it is known as chyme, right? Now in the pylorus, there is a sphincter, right? There is this sphincter. This is known as the pyloric sphincter. What is this known as? This is known as the pyloric sphincter. It is, and here also in the duodenum part also there is a sphincter. Okay, so what is this? This is pyloric sphincter, and this is lower esophageal sphincter. These are kind of muscles which are involuntary, and this is also involuntary, And what are they doing? They are just helping the food passing from the esophagus to the stomach, and from the stomach to the duodenum. Okay, so these sphincters are just doing this. Okay, so when we do histology, we'll do all these layers in detail, and the other parts also in detail. Just you remember all these four structures and these sphincters, what they are doing, and nothing much to do in this, okay, as of now, but we'll do stomach in great detail. Now let us do the, see, this is the stomach. I just told you cardiac, fundus, body, and pylorus. This is given in your NCRT. So I am just telling you what is this antrum, where it written, this connects the it connects to the pyloric canal, right? So this is the sphincter that we are talking about, right? This is the, if I see, take a different color and show you in this, this is the sphincter that we are talking about, that is helping the food pass from the stomach to the duodenum. So this is the antrum, which is also known as, we can also say as pyloric antrum. Okay, and this is the sphincter, and this is this area is known as the pyloric canal. Okay, so basically pyloric antrum is doing what? It is connecting to the pyloric canal. It is connecting body to the pyloric canal. Okay, so 4 parts are given. That's why I just did not tell you about this, but you can also, for your information, it is pyloric antrum. Okay, so now let us do the small intestine. What is a small intestine? We've already done stomach. Now small intestine. So small intestine has 3 portions: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. So duodenum is the part that connects the, it is the first part, and it connects to stomach. Okay, where the pyloric sphincter was present. It is the shortest part, and it is only about 25 centimeter in length, and so it is the smallest and the shortest part, and it connects to the stomach. What about jejunum? Jejunum is the next part, and it is what? It is around 1 meter long. Okay, and ileum is the final portion. It is the final portion, and it is around 2 meters long. It is how much? It is around 2 meters long, and it connects to the large intestine. It connects to large intestine, and there is a sphincter. It can via ileocecal valve, or cecal, some people say, or ileocecal sphincter. Okay, it connects to the large intestine with this, right? So duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. So if we see, this is the stomach. This part, this light blue color, it is the duodenum. Then starts the jejunum, and then this, the highly coiled part, is the ileum, which is the longest, and it is 2 meter. It is 1 meter, and it is only 25 centimeter. Okay, now let us see a few more things about the intestine. So when we'll do histology, obviously we'll do this in detail, but since we are doing small intestine, we should know few things, right? So there are few things which are, there are some circular folds, right? There are some circular folds like this. Okay, and what for are they present? They are present for what? They are present for better absorption, right? They are present for better absorption, and they are present in, they are well developed in jejunum. They are more well developed in jejunum than in ileum. Okay. So if I draw the structure, then we can see that if this is the serosa layer, and then there is this longitudinal muscle. Okay, these are the longitudinal muscle, and then there is this circular muscle layer, circular layer of muscle, and then there is this submucosa, right? So there is this circular folds. Okay, so this yellow thing that I am drawing is what? This is serosa. Okay, and then there is the longitudinal muscle, and then there is the circular muscle. Where? In the intestinal wall. Remember, we are drawing a part of intestine, and these are the circular folds that we are talking about. These are the circular folds, or they are also known as valves or Kirkring. Okay, walls of Kirkring, they are also known as this, and these are the circular folds for better absorption, more in jejunum than in ileum. So we'll do more about it. Let us see. And this is the light green thing that I am doing is the submucosa. This is what? The submucosa, which is folded like circular folds. Okay, this is submucosa, right? So now let us see what all else are there. Then there are finger-like projections. Okay, then if we see a part of this, if we see, then this is there. Then what is there? There are finger-like projection like this. Okay, they are what? They are finger-like projections, and they are known as what? They are the villi. Villi are what? Finger-like projections. And there are around 20 to 40 villi per square millimeter. Okay, so 20 to 40 villi per square millimeter, and they do what? They increase the surface area for absorption and digestion. They increase the surface area for absorption and digestion. Very easy to understand, right? And the villi that is in the jejunum. Now, one thing to remember, that the villi that is in the jejunum, that is the second part of the small intestine. Those villi are thicker in comparison to ileum. Okay, in comparison to ileum. So here there is like this. So what it is giving it a like of a velvety experience. These are the villi, and there are 20 to 40 villi per square millimeter. See, so many, so many villi are present. Okay, so these are what? These are the villi. Now we'll see what are microvilli. These are the villi. Now we'll see what are the microvilli. So we saw this, right? Now if we see this and enlarge, we'll see that it is like this. Okay, so what kind of appearance it is giving? And there are so many. So it is giving it a kind of what appearance? It is giving a kind of brush border appearance. Okay, so that's why it is called brush border epithelium, right? You must have listened this word while studying small intestine. right? So each microvillus, if we now see each microvillus, it is about 1 millimeter long, and it is a bundle of 20 to 30 actin filaments. Okay, 20 to 30 actin filaments, and they are very, very, very small to be seen individually. They are very small to be seen individually. So they, when we see them under a microscope, we see like there's a brush kind of thing which is in the, and it is where this is what it is towards what side? This is the lumen of intestine. Okay, because yahi pe to food will come na. If this is the intestine, the food, this is the lumen. Okay, the empty space, this is the lumen, right? So the microvilli at this side, this you know. Okay, so the microvilli increase the surface area of the plasma membrane, and so that large amount of nutrients can be absorbed. Okay, so this is all about small intestine that we are doing right now. And when we are doing histology, we will do these serosa, longitudinal layers, circular layers, submucosa in a bit more detail, right? Now let us see. This is what I was telling you, that the folds of mucosa and submucosa, so they are well developed in jejunum and in ileum, right? So these are the villi that I told you, the villi, and the submucosa, these are the layers, and this, see, you can see this villi, right? So this was a diagram that I actually drew and showed you. So we did this circular folds and villi and microvilli. So we did the circular folds and villi and microvilli. Now let us do the large intestine. Okay, let us do large intestine. So the last part of a small intestine was what? It was ileum is connected to large intestine, right? Please make notes when you are studying. It helps you to remember. Ileum is connected to large intestine, and large intestine is what? It is the terminal portion of alimentary canal. Okay. We all know this. It is a terminal portion of alimentary canal, and it extends from the ileum to the anus, and it has whenever we draw large intestine, we draw small pouch like structures like this, right? What are these that we draw pouch like structures? These are known as what? Think if you know. These are known as haustra. These are known as what? These are known as haustra, and these are what? These are small sac-like structures. These are what? These are small sac-like structures. Okay, and there is a small, there is this, you will see that tinea coli, it's known as, it's a ribbon-like structure that's present. And what is that ribbon-like structure called? That's known as coli, right? And it's like if you take a big some big ribbon, simple, and you put a thin, you just stitch it in between and you pull it, it will become some pouch like thing, like a little pouchy like thing. So that is what is this tinea coli helping to do. It is doing, it contracts lengthwise. What is this doing? It is a ribbon like structure. Many kids get confused of what is this, right? What is this structure? It is a ribbon like structure, and it contracts lengthwise to do what? To produce haustra. Now you get it? Now you get it? Okay. And this is not present in this, important because it is present everywhere. Then where it is not present? It is not present in rectum and anal canal and vermiform appendix. Vermiform, it is not present in all these things. It is not present in rectum, anal canal and vermiform appendix, right? So here we can just draw a worm like structure. This is what? This is vermiform appendix. So see, from one thing we are going to the other, and like you know that it is that large intestine is divided into three columns, we can say. So this is known as the ascending colon, right? This is the ascending colon. This is the transverse colon. Okay. And this is what? This is the descending colon. This portion is the descending colon. Okay. Very easy and simple to remember. Okay. Now, so the tinea coli is also divided into three separate longitudinal ribbons, or we can just say ribbons because tinea means ribbon. Okay. And so they are actually visible. They are actually visible from outside, and they're just present below serosa. When we'll do the histology of alimentary canal of this large intestine, you will more clearly understand it. So see, we started with large intestine. I was just telling you about this hostra, and from there we went to this tinea coli, and from there we went to vermiform appendix. So what is vermiform appendix? Let us write over here only. What is it? So basically, vermiform appendix is considered to be a vestigial organ. You might be knowing this. It is considered to be a vestigial organ, and it is highly developed in herbivores. But in us, it is a vestigial organs. It is believed that it is host to symbiotic bacteria. Okay, it is just believed that it is host to symbiotic bacteria, and it has since it is host to symbiotic bacteria, it is believed that it has high concentration of lymphatic nodules. Okay, but it is not of much use in our body. So that is controlling the entry of symbiotic bacteria or the good bacteria that is entered the large intestine. Okay, so now let me tell you about cecum. That is one of the starting point of the large intestine. So this is cecum. Okay, this is what? This is cecum. And remember I told you that in the small intestine connects to the large intestine. Which part of the large intestine? It connects to cecum, and via what? Ileocecal valve or sphincter. So if this is the small intestine, so, and this is the cecum, so it is attached to here. Okay, it is attached to here. This is what? This is cecum, and here we will draw this appendix, and this is small intestine, this is cecum, and there is this valve present. Okay, so this is what? This is the ileocecal valve. Ileocecal valve, right? So this becomes the first part. Now the food goes to cecum. From the cecum, the food goes to where? It goes to the colon, and it is divided into three parts: ascending, and transverse and descending. So three parts. So ascending is what? Ascending is the shortest part. Okay, it is the shortest part, and transverse, it's very easy, no? Ascending and then transverse and then this side descending, right? So then this goes where? This descending colon goes where? It goes into the sigmoid colon. It goes to where? It goes to the sigmoid colon, right? It goes to the sigmoid colon. So this is the S shape kind of thing. This is what I'm saying as sigmoid colon, and this is the rectum, and this is the, let me draw it a little big. So this is the anal canal, and the finally there is this anus. Okay, so it is the terminal portion of the alimentary canal. So as you can see, now let us once again just see all the structures. So this is what? This is cecum. Okay, this is cecum, where the ileocecal wall of small intestine is present. It goes to ascending colon, descending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, to the sigmoid colon, to the anal canal, and to the anus. What is this yellow thing that I have drawn? This is a ribbon-like structure, tinea coli. It contracts lengthwise to produce haustra. What are these haustra? These are the pouch-like structures. These are what? These are the, this is the haustra. These are the pouch-like structures, and haustra gives it like the segmented, it gives the segmented appearance. And you know, one thing I'll tell you, that this haustral contractions are activated. When are they activated? Are activated by the presence of chyme. Interesting, by the presence of chyme. Okay, and it helps in what? So that it helps and it serves that the food moves slowly to next haustra or sac or sacule, whatever you want to say. It's a sacule or a sac-like structure, and along with what it is doing, along with mixing the chyme and absorbing water. I have seen that the large intestine is a part of confusion to the students. So that's why I just took a little more time in telling you about this. So you have understood. Now I'll just say the word so that you just see in your mind. Cecum, vermiform appendix, colon, rectum. I did not tell you about rectum, right? So let us see something about rectum. Rectum is around 20 centimeter long. Okay, 20 centimeter long. I'll just add a page, right? Okay. So I was telling about rectum. Rectum is around 20 centimeter long. Okay. And now the anal canal. One thing to remember in anal canal, that the lower 2/3 of anal canal is made up of voluntary muscle. Okay. So you know why? That's why we are able to control excretion, or else what will happen? The food will the food will be collected, the waste will be collected, the waste food will be collected, and it will just come out as poop. No, it doesn't happen. We can control it. Why? Because there is voluntary muscle in the lower 2/3 portion. Okay. And one more thing, at the junction of rectum And remember, rectum is going to anal canal. There is a muscular ring. There is a muscular ring called anorectal ring. Anorectal ring. I just thought I'll tell you. And now some more things. There are some points which I wanted to tell you in this. And just let me think. There is so much to tell, and there is so much not to tell. I just give me a second. And now the superior, let us see something about the superior part of anal canal. Okay, it's the superior part of anal canal. It is lined by what? It is lined by columnar epithelium, right? And rectum is also lined by columnar epithelium. So basically this lining gets continued because after this sigmoid, this rectum and then this anus. So basically if this is the rectum and this is the anal canal, so the superior, it is continuing, so this columnar epithelium gets continued. Okay, now what about if the superior portion has this, and what about the, however, in the lower portion of the anal canal, what happens? The superior portion is what? The superior portion is covered by the column, and in the lower portion, what happens? The mucosa is drawn into longitudinal folds, and these are known as anal columns. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell you about large intestine. It is about 1.5 meter in length, and I told you many of these things. What is the, if I just ask, what is the function of large intestine? It is to reabsorb fluids and the process the waste from the body and finally eliminate it, right? So this is all about this. I told you about tinea coli, which is a matter of confusion to many kids, and it is a ribbon-like structure. It contracts lengthwise so as to produce hostra. Hostra are sacules in the colon that give its segmented appearance. Hostral contraction is activated by the presence of chyme, and the hostral contraction mixes the chyme and it helps in water absorption. So let us just quickly see what we have done, and in the next class we'll start with what? We'll start with the histology of alimentary canal. So this is what I was talking about. This is the cecum, and then the ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon. You can see this thing. This is what? This is the tinea coli that I was talking about, and see, it is not present in rectum and this anal canal and the vermiform appendix. So this is the sigmoid colon that they are talking about. Then there is this rectum, and this is the rectum. Oh, they have shown it. This is the rectum and the anus. Okay, so this is all about large intestine. Let us quickly see what we did today, and then we'll stop the today's class. So we started with stomach, right? We started with esophagus, and we saw in the esophagus that it is a muscular tube lined with stratified squamous epithelium. Okay, it is lined with stratified squamous epithelium. You have to remember this. And the initial first third is skeletal muscle, then smooth muscle and skeletal muscle, and then the only smooth muscle. So I showed you, if this is the trachea, if this is the esophagus, then the first 1/3 is skeletal, then both the muscles, skeletal and smooth, and then only smooth muscle. It lies posterior to trachea. I explained you why it is lying and why is this trachealis muscle to support the peristaltic movement of esophagus. Where is it present, right? The coordinates, it begins at the end of, this is the laryngopharynx, right? This is laryngopharynx, I told you. So this is nasopharynx, this is oropharynx and laryngopharynx. We have done this. So it begins at laryngopharynx and it ends where? It begins at laryngopharynx and it joins the stomach. Now, when we did stomach, we did about the 4 parts: the fundus, the body, the pylorus, and the cardiac, the 4 parts. It is J-shaped in structure. So there is this lower esophageal sphincter that is controlling the movement of bolus from esophagus to the stomach, and then there is this pyloric sphincter that is controlling the movement of bolus. Bolus is like this, chyme becomes semi-liquefied food. So this is chyme. So it is controlling the movement of the food from stomach to the duodenum, right? From stomach to the duodenum. So if we see the stomach wall, it is made up of 3, the muscular layer is made up of 3 parts: longitudinal, circular, and oblique, right? Longitudinal, circular, and oblique, which we will do in detail in histology, right? Then we did what? We just saw this again: cardiac, fundus, body, pylorus. This is also called pyloric antrum, right? This is the pyloric canal, and this is what? This is the sphincter. Now we did about small intestine. I told you that it has three portions: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Duodenum is what? It is the smallest. Jejunum is the next part. It is 1 meter in long, and then the ileum, final portion, it is 2 meter in long, and it connects to the large intestine via sphincter, right? So this is what you can just see this, okay, right? Duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Then we saw about we said we'll do the histology in detail. Then we saw about the circular folds that are present, and just remember, this is the lumen, okay? This is towards the lumen. We saw that this submucosa is into circular folds, and these circular folds are also called valves or Kirk ring. Then we saw that there are villi present, right? There are villi present for increasing surface area for better absorption. The villi is in jejunum are thicker in comparison to ileum. Then we saw what are microvilli, and this microvilli gives it a brush border appearance, right? So these are around 1 millimeter long, and these are a bundle of 20 to 30 actin filaments. They are very small to be seen individually, and when we see it under a microscope, we just see them like this, and it looks as if there is a brush border. Then we saw this, these are walls, these are another name for walls or Kirk ring or circular folds, okay, or circular folds. So this is serosa, then longitudinal muscle, circular muscle, right, submucosa. So we did all this. Then I told you about the large intestine, which is the terminal portion of alimentary canal, and ileum is connected to the large intestine. Then there is this ascending colon, transverse colon, and descending colon. These pouch-like structures which we see, these are what? These are haustra, and they are produced by what? By the lengthwise contraction of tinea coli that I have shown in yellow. This is the sigmoid colon, then the rectum and the anal canal, and in rectum, anal canal, and vermiform appendix, tinea coli is not present. So we saw that tinea coli is a ribbon-like structure. It contracts lengthwise to produce haustra, which are sac-like structures, and this is not present in rectum, anal canal, and vermiform appendix. Then we saw what is vermiform appendix. It is a vestigial organ. It hosts symbiotic bacteria, and it is believed it has a high concentration of lymphatic nodules, right? So we saw what is ileocecal valve. So this is the first portion of large intestine, cecum, and this is small intestine, So this is the ileocecal valve, right? And then the food from cecum goes to the colon, which is divided into three parts: ascending, transverse, and descending. And from descending, it goes to the sigmoid colon, right? So I've already done about haustral contractions. And then the rectum. Rectum is around 20 centimeter long, and in the then the waste is going to anal canal, and the lower 2/3 portion of anal canal is made up of voluntary muscle, right? So we did this cecum, colon, rectum, anal canal. Now we did this about a muscular ring, that is anorectal ring. Obviously very easy. Anal canal and rectum, it is connecting anal canal and rectum. Then we did about the lining, okay, lining of anal canal. So this is the superior part is covered with columnar epithelium, same as rectum, and in the lower portion it is into longitudinal anal column. So this we did, and next class we'll be starting with histology of wall of alimentary canal, right? So this is a very important topic, histology. Let me see if there are any. No. So yes, we saw this diagram also, and then I said that we will end the today's class. Hope you are studying, and next class is very important because it is what? It is histology of wall of alimentary canal. We'll do a lot of things in this class with lot of diagrams, and finally when we are done with histology, then we will be doing with the, after this we'll be doing the digestive glands, okay? We'll be doing the digestive glands, because to understand digestive glands, where they are present, what are they secreting, where you need to understand the histology, right? So in these digestive glands, we'll be doing salivary glands. So this is the next lecture. And after that this, and in this we'll be doing what? We'll be doing salivary glands. We will be doing gastric glands. So their exact, their positions, their kind of cells, their secretion. Intestinal glands. It is a very big chapter. Then we'll be doing liver. Liver itself is a very big topic. We'll be doing liver. Maybe I'll divide this digestive gland subtopic into many small videos, right? So when you are revising, you don't have to see the whole. Then pancreas. And after we are done this, then we'll do some questions on the structures, and after that finally we will come to digestion of food, okay? Digestion of food. I'll make this very interesting, you know, how we'll do in each and every structure, like, you know, like in mouth what happens, and then what happens in esophagus, and then the food is going pharynx, what is happening there, and then, you know, it's coming down, and what is happening in the stomach, and, you know, everything I'll tell you in detail. So this digestion of food I'll try to make very interesting. But first, for that we have to understand the histology and the digestive glands, okay? So guys, stay home, stay safe, and please continue to study, okay? Bye bye.